Hello everybody, my name is Rebekah. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be another episode of Cup of Zoe. Today I got my frozen mocha coffee from Dunkin', and today's video I just felt like sitting down and talking to you guys about social media, comparison, and mental health, and those are gonna be like the main subjects of this video. And I just kind of wanted to casually sit down with you guys. I have some notes here with me and just chat about that subject, about social media culture, how it affects my mental health, how it has affected other people's mental health. Well, I can really only speak for myself, but I feel like how social media has impacted my mental health is somewhat of a universal thing. Not everybody experiences what I experience, but a lot of people can probably relate to what I've experienced in terms of that. And, you know, comparison and how social media affects that comparative mentality. So social media has been proven time and time again to be at least one of the root causes of many people's despondent comparative mentalities. Social media can often be used as a means of comparison and cyberbullying, as well as encouragement of low self-confidence and other unhealthy tendencies. And I'm not saying that this is all social media, but it's just like social media has a negative connotation, at least to me. I mean, I want to pursue like a career using social media. Obviously, I appreciate and respect all the positive aspects and the pros of social media, because there is, you know, just a plethora of options and opportunities that were made available through social media, and I appreciate and respect that about social media. But social media also has a lot of negative aspects to it, and that's kind of what I'm going to be focusing on in this video, are the negative components of social media. I mean, I'm not going to be like just like negative the whole time and be a Debbie Downer the whole video, because I don't want that. I don't want to have this just negative energy to me throughout the whole video, but I just want to talk about how social media has affected my mental health and my own comparison. And when I was writing notes for this video, I started writing notes for this video a long time ago. I kind of did a podcast episode about this like a long time ago on Ebbs and Flows with Frenchman, available everywhere. I haven't really been uploading podcast episodes recently just because I've been more focused on my YouTube channel and school. School's been a lot, but when I first started writing notes for this video, I was asking other women around my age how social media has affected them as well, and a lot of them admitted to putting on acts for social media posts, for conveying a facade for social media and not being completely authentic and genuine, and that is just social media culture. Like, it's not to say that these people who I talk to aren't genuine people, because they are, or they wouldn't have given me any feedback or anything, and I don't talk to people who aren't genuine. But, you know, social media culture allows for people to put on a front or a facade, or sometimes a little bit of a phony face, to express a message of like, my life is great, and I'm happy and I'm healthy. And, you know, we can be appreciative of being happy and healthy, and also acknowledge that that's not life 100% of the time. And I like to personally use social media to express, obviously, the positive highlights of my life, as everyone does. Social media is a highlight reel, and we all know this, but I also like to use my platform to express real, genuine things that are problems and struggles in my life, and that's how I use social media. Not everybody uses social media that way, and I appreciate everybody who does use social media that way, uses it as a platform to express real things and real struggles and just personal struggles, and everybody's personal struggles are valid. And I really admire the people the creators on social media that use their platform to express real, authentic things that are going on in their lives. And sometimes content creators, especially the bigger ones that are really successful and like live in LA, not necessarily just because they live in LA, but you know what I mean, that those kind of influencers sometimes don't always have a strong sense of reality, and I've noticed that sometimes. But I'm talking about like the influencers and creators that seem really down to earth, and I really appreciate those kind of people. And I like to consider myself one of those people. I'm not a huge influencer or content creator. I don't have a huge following. I have a big enough following, and my videos don't get a lot of views, but you know, I try to, no matter what, be as authentic as possible, and that's how I like to use social media. But social media has caused a plethora of issues for me. it has caused a lot of instances of FOMO, so fear of missing out, and just feeling left out of things. I have countless times been either like friends with somebody and they have lied to me and I found out that they lied to me through social media, or they didn't invite me to something and I found out through social media, and it is absolutely heartbreaking when that happens. Like, it might not seem like a big deal just saying it, but in 8th grade when my best friend at the time lied to me and I found out through Snapchat and that ended our friendship, it destroyed me. I have a video on my channel from years ago when that first happened of me falling into a really bad dark depression after that happened. Social media caused me to enter into one of my darkest places in life, and obviously it was her fault that I fell into that place, but social media was like, you know, the catalyst for that, and it's not something I ever want to relive. And honestly, I don't use Snapchat as much anymore. I still use it sometimes. I use it to promote my videos mostly, but I don't like just watch people's stories because that doesn't serve me any purpose anymore. And it, like, you know, I'll watch some people's stories that I actually care about and I'm like interested in what they're doing in their life, especially because I've moved and a lot of people who I've known still live in Pennsylvania. But, you know, I don't use social media in general as a way to just stare and scroll or swipe and just mindlessly do that, because I don't feel like that serves me any purpose, and it just makes me feel worse about myself. I have at points been addicted to TikTok and other social media platforms. Like, it is a very addictive thing, and that's like part of the reason why I want to set boundaries for it and why I highly recommend and encourage everybody setting social media boundaries. And I talked about this in my Accepting Your Body Post Eating Disorder Recovery video recently, and that is like a huge thing too for body image and, you know, just overall general well-being and mental well-being. I just feel like setting boundaries for social media is crucial. You want to set limits for yourself for how often you're going on social media, for how long you're on social media for, like at a given time, because if you're staring and scrolling and swiping on social media for hours, it's detrimental to your mental health, and I can speak from experience. At least for me. I can't say that's for everybody, but I can say generally, I would think that mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours is detrimental to your mental health, and it doesn't serve any purpose in your life other than entertainment, but it has more negative effects than positive in my opinion. And I personally like using social media as an outlet, as a creative outlet. Using it for that purpose has kind of changed my perspective on social media a lot. I do post like personal things on my Instagram. My Instagram is probably my most personal social media account, where I post like just personal pictures of my life, and also my TikTok is just like random videos that I think of, and same thing with my YouTube shorts. But like Snapchat I mainly use to promote my videos, and my Instagram stories I use to promote my videos, and I also post like music and stuff on there. But Twitter I used mainly to promote myself, and Threads I used to promote myself, and TikTok I sometimes use to promote myself. But when I tried to just, rather than using social media as like an overall personal thing, like it's still very personal, but I use it more of like a business kind of thing now and a creative outlet, and I use it to express my internal thoughts. Like I will post poetry sometimes and stuff like that, but so like overall social media for me is a creative outlet in a way, and a promotional tool for my work. And when I started using it more in that sense, it just made social media a lot better and healthier for me. So like I don't follow a lot of people. I follow like a good amount of people on Instagram, but they're people I know personally, or they're celebrities that I admire and that I care about. But I try to limit who I'm following, and I only follow accounts that I actually want to see things from, and I don't follow accounts that enable or encourage unhealthy behaviors, because there's plenty of accounts like that, and I tried my best to not engage with them at all. And I don't engage with content that I don't want to see more of, because that's how the algorithm works. I only engage with content that I actually want to see. And social media can also just enable a feeling of envy, at least for me personally. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, but especially being the age I am, I'm 21 years old, and I'm at this place where I feel like I'm at a pretty appropriate point to be in life. Like I'm in the middle of school, and I'm gonna getting my college degree next year, and I feel like I'm at a pretty good place in my life. But when I go on social media and I see all these people that are my age that I graduated with, what seems like so far ahead of me, like, you know, in internships, moving out, or like obviously I moved out, but like moving away from college and just having real jobs and stuff like that, like it makes me feel really jealous and just bad about myself and insecure. But I've had to accept and learn and kind of remind myself that everybody is at a different place in life, and I can't expect to be at the same place as any other person. Like everybody is on their own path, everybody is in their own place in their journey in life, and nobody is behind, nobody is ahead. And I feel like that's a really important point to hammer, because it's so true, and it's so helpful to remind yourself of when you're feeling like you're behind in life, just behind your peers or whatever, behind other people your age. Nobody's behind and nobody's ahead. Everybody's just at their own place. And social media is also a great place to connect with people, connect and communicate with like-minded people in communities like that. It's a great, you know, place for that. But I've had to learn that I can't always always is like an important word here. I can't always expect real, genuine friendships to come of relationships or connections that I've made online, because I have made countless friendships online through YouTube, mainly with subscribers, usually people who found my videos and love them and want to connect with me, and I become friends with them online, and then they wind up being not only shitty people, sometimes they're shitty people, but just not real friends, just people who either wanted to use me or just are not good people, and the friendship didn't work out. And I can't always expect, sometimes they're not even bad people, they're just, the friendship didn't work out. And you know, it's important to not always expect real friendships to come of every connection that I make online. And that sucks, but you know, it's a harsh reality that I have to accept. But it's also important to keep an open mind about connections that I make online and potential relationships that I can make through those connections. So an underlying theme of this whole video is balance, and I've talked about balance countless times, but I'm going to talk about it briefly again. Balance is so important in life. I remind myself of this so much because it's so hard for me to grasp the concept of balance and to really put it in place in my life, because I have borderline personality disorder, which is, you know, known for being extreme, being very black and white thinking, and just it's all or nothing thinking and stuff like that. And it's really hard for me to get out of that place just because of my condition, and I do things to help myself, but it's just really difficult. And I know that the most difficult things in life are the most advantageous, and I've said that before and I'm gonna say it again. The most difficult things in life provide you the most benefit and the most learning experiences and the most opportunity for growth. If you're doing everything easy all the time, you're never learning or growing. So it's important to do things that are difficult in order to get better and to feel more fulfilled and happy in life overall. But it is hard for me to get myself to a place where I feel balanced. But I say that all the time to remind myself and to remind you guys, of course, that balance is so important, and it's important to balance your social media usage and, you know, have boundaries and limits and balance between how often you go on social media, how you're perceiving social media, and all that stuff. And overall, I found it generally easier to connect with people in real life rather than online. And back to that point of like, you can't always expect connections online to be genuine and real. I have just generally found that it's easier to make connections, genuine connections in real life. And for me, I've never, this is kind of random but kind of related, I've never used a dating app in my life. I've had 2 boyfriends. Well, I have 1 boyfriend now and I have 1 ex-boyfriend, and both of them I met in real life. I mean, my ex-boyfriend was shitty, but we don't talk about him. But my current boyfriend, I met in real life. I met him in school. And you know, if I had met him on a dating app, I don't know how well our relationship would have worked out. I mean, if it was the same guy, then probably, because I love Theo and I want to stay with Theo forever. But I just think that it was easier to make a real connection with him because we met in real life and we hung out in real life and we weren't just talking online, and it created this relationship that has lasted over 3 years. And I don't know, I just felt like things would have been different if I met someone online, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just really happy that I found my guy in person. That's just kind of random, but I just felt like that was kind of an interesting thing to add. But yeah, social media, when it's used for something that is like an expressive outlet, it can be really cathartic. And you know, when you stop caring as much about other people's perceptions of your social media feed or posts, or you stop comparing yourself to other people on social media and you remind yourself that it's a highlight reel, then you know, your perspective can really shift. And when you use it for something when you use it as a creative outlet rather than just a way to try to show off, I feel like some people use social media as a way to try to show off their lives or show off themselves, and that's fine, but for me that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me personally. I don't like using social media that way. I like using it as a way to express myself creatively and to promote my work and to connect with people, and that I feel like is the best approach to take with social media. At least that's my opinion. But yeah, is there anything else I wanted to add? Oh yeah, just be nice on social media. Like, I don't know if anybody is really gonna listen to this or care what I have to say about this, but I see so much hatred on social media. It is just nauseating. I hate it so much. Can we please try to be a little nicer to people, a little more open-minded, a little more respectful? Like, we can have differing opinions. It's important in life, in society, to have differing opinions, but we don't need to call other people's opinions wrong, because opinions aren't facts and they can't be wrong or right. We need to stop disparaging people for having opinions, and we need to stop hating on people for no reason. We need to for no valid reason. Like, if there's a valid reason, whatever. But if there's no valid reason to hate on someone or something or a post, like, why? I get like freedom of speech, whatever, but like we don't need to be hateful. We can express our opinions and thoughts without being hateful. And I feel like going into social media with that approach as well also is a lot healthier, because like, no matter how hard I try to stay away from hateful stuff on social media, it's always gonna be there. It's always gonna pop up. There's always gonna be so much of it, and it's unavoidable. But it's important to just not engage with it and to just steer clear of it and just not even leave comments on things that you disagree with and just ignore it. That's at least the approach that I take, and it helps my mental health a lot. So yeah, and like I said, when you don't engage with things that you don't like, you don't see more of that stuff. That's what I feel like people don't understand that. People like just comment hate shit on things that they hate, and then they get more of it in their algorithm, and then they're confused why. Like, I wonder why. Maybe because you engaged with it. Like, the fuck. Anyway, hello guys. I also forgot to mention when I filmed this video that I really wanted to throw into this video because I felt like it was an appropriate time to add it. But if you guys remember, if you've been following me for a while, about, let's see when I posted this first one, January of 2018. So if you've been following me for a while, then you would know that when I was a freshman in high school, my YouTube channel and a bunch of other of my social medias were hacked. I was harassed in school and online because the hacker was a classmate of mine. And this just kind of ties into the whole social media mental health thing and how detrimental social media can be to your mental health. And that whole situation, it went on for months, almost like 6 months. And it wasn't resolved until I had to go into the police station and face this hacker and tell him I tried to kill myself because of him. But it was a whole ordeal, and I just really want to emphasize, like, it's important to be kind. And like I said in this video already, like, it's important to be kind online, and part of that is to, I don't know, not hack people's accounts. Like, you will get in trouble. People aren't gonna just let that shit go. And my YouTube channel was my life at this time, and my YouTube channel is still a huge aspect of my life. So if something ever happened to it again, I would be devastated and I would be on top of it. So I just want to make it a point not to fuck with people's social media accounts. There's literally no purpose in doing that. You're just creating problems in their life and in your own life, and there's no point in doing it. So, and if you guys are interested in watching my videos about it, I made a 3-part series 6 years ago. I made part 1, which is called I Was Fished and Robbed: The Hacker and Harasser Diaries, episode 1. And then I made a part 2 and a part 3, and they're all like pretty long videos. So if you guys are interested in the full story of me being doxxed, harassed, and hacked, and fished, and all those words, then you can check those out on my channel. But yeah, just be kind and be considerate of other people, and you never know what other people are going through. Everyone is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. So just be kind. So that's where I'm gonna end this video. I know I just kind of just randomly talked about social media and all that stuff for 20 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Share this video and my channel to those who think might be interested, and leave me comments down below. Leave me comments for other video suggestions or whatever you want. I love reading the comments. And get copies of both my books, my memoir Battles on the Borderline, and my poetry book Erotic Anthology, My Psychology, and follow me on all my other social media. My Snapchat is Zoe Frenchman, my Instagram is Zoe R Frenchman, my Twitter is Zoe Rebekah F, and my TikTok is Zoe R F420. Alright, so that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!